I'm back. It's been a long time. It's been over a month since I've recorded. Um, why, you may ask? Because the holidays, on top of the seasonal depression, on top of the regular depression, sent me into a very bad downward spiral. So, over the past month, it's literally taken me a month to gain some social battery, some battery at all to do anything. I have been rotting way too much. I have made some progress, but we're here. We are finally here. I have a lot to talk about today. And yeah, the Lexapro is hitting, so let's go. So, first things first, I am engaged. I'm engaged. Finally, after 6 years, I'm engaged. I know, I'm young, but me and Blake have been together for 6 years, like I said. We've been living together for 5 years. And also, not that I have to explain it to anyone, but just a little side note. We have dealt with things and had to go through things that people twice our age don't normally have to deal with. So, I feel like just the cards we've been handed in this life matured us a lot. And that is not a bragging thing. That's not a toot my own horn thing. I wish it was different. I wish that I wasn't as mature as I am as a 23-year-old. I've been that way since I was a kid. I was very worried about adult problems and just all that. So, that being said, I'm very excited. I'm very happy. He did it over Christmas break. So I had a feeling that it was going to happen for a while, but I didn't really know when, and he did surprise me with it. Essentially, when we first got together, one of our first dates, it was probably about a month after we got together, was, so sorry if you hear the dogs barking. So sorry about that. We went to the zoo lights, and that was just kind of like a tradition we used to do. We have pictures. We went there a few years, but the past 2 years we haven't been able to go just because life. So we had planned to go, and then the weekend we were actually supposed to go ended up blowing up in our faces because, like the weather right now, currently here in Indiana, we got hit with a snowstorm, and essentially the zoo shut down. Now, after we've been engaged, he told me that weekend he had actually paid for his friends to come and meet us there to record it and just kind of run into us. He had this whole elaborate plan, and it ended up just crumbling. So then the next weekend, I can't remember exactly what happened. It was just a lot. We had birthdays, we had a lot going on. I had no idea. Finally, we ended up going, and it was really beautiful. He took me to a kind of a secluded part, but there were still some people. The lights were really beautiful, and he popped the question. He did record it. I am not going to put it in here because it's a little embarrassing for me because I was shaking so bad. I knocked the ring out of his hand. But he picks it up. We're fine. But my hand was just shaking. I could not get it to stop. And as he was trying to put it on, fell to the ground. But, he got it up quick, and it did not ruin it for me, but it's just a little embarrassing because I know that it was my fault. But yeah, and a few people were around. They cheered, they clapped, they took some pictures of us. We didn't even end up staying to watch or to go look at any of the other animals because I was just so oh my God, we're engaged, that I couldn't focus on anything else. I couldn't focus on the animals. All I wanted us to do was to go get a drink to celebrate, go eat some dinner, and yeah, we ended up going to PF Chang's, which was really random, but it was kind of late when we left. Um, and it sucked, but you know what? We were there together and it was amazing. And yeah, then after that, I pretty much called everyone. Really good reaction. I love my ring. It's so beautiful. Don't mind my nails right now. They are ugly. I need to put gel on them. But I've been growing them out again because over this month-long period where I have not done anything, I also went back to picking my nails. So we're growing them again. We're from the start, but you know what? We're trying. So anyways, after that, Blake's brother and his wife, who they live in Texas. We actually went there for their wedding, 2 years ago. They were actually coming in for because this was the 23rd. Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. This was on winter solstice, the longest night of the year. And what's funny is that day, I had been talking to Blake because, you know me, love my ACOTAR. And if you don't know me, I love ACOTAR. Obsessed with it, some might say, especially with Resand. Well, those of you who may know the ACOTAR lore, winter solstice is Farrah's birthday. That's the longest night of the year. He's the night court. It's just, it's very romantic. And I was telling Blake that, don't be scratching at my door. Sorry. I was telling Blake that like all day. I was like, oh my God, it's winter solstice. This is Farrah and Resand's like day. I love it. And then he proposed me on winter solstice. So I was very much like, oh my God, am I Farrah? But yeah, it was perfect. Anyways, his brother and wife ended up coming in town for Christmas. I think maybe 2 days later. So they were here to celebrate and it went really well. We hung out with them a lot. And that was great, but it was definitely a lot of social interaction, that, and then like family. I'm so sorry. These dogs. One second. Okay, so sorry. A school bus just went by to pick up kids because they're on a 2-hour delay. It's 10:30 in the morning right now. I also do have Frankie. This is my white pug. He's an old man. He's super cute though. We love him. He's only about 7 months old and he's a chunky boy. He's big. Tina unfortunately cannot be in here because she doesn't know how to stop barking at everything. So she's in the other room, but she is the exact opposite of him. She's a very small little black pug. People think she's a mini pug. She's just petite. I don't know. Anyways, as I was saying, his brother and wife came in. We haven't seen them in 2 years, and essentially there was just a lot of social interaction. There was a lot of family time, which was triggering to me just because my dad wasn't here. The holidays are always hard, but this was my second year not having my dad here for the holidays. And last year, I just feel like I was in such a daze that I don't even remember what happened for so many months, including... Sorry if the mic is gonna just catch his snoring. He's about to lay down. If you hear snoring, it's because there's a little pug down here. Anyways, also his face looks dirty. I clean it every single day. I swear. Anyways, it was just triggering for me. It's always really hard, and sometimes being around Blake's family, it's just very different than mine, and I've been around them for years. They're always very welcoming and comforting and loving towards me. I'm very grateful for them, but sometimes it's still triggering just because it's not what I'm used to. It's just kind of a lot. So that's kind of how the holidays went. It took me, I think that's also why I had to take so long, because I feel like I wake up, and this is just how I felt since like my dad passed, but I feel like I wake up on about 40%, and then that's what I have for the rest of the day. I don't wake up 100% anymore. It takes me a long time to motivate myself and to especially like for social things, it takes me a lot more effort. I like to stay in the house a lot, which I am trying to get out more because I don't want to be a hermit crab, but you know, whatever. Anyways, very excited to get married. We already have our venue picked out. It's going to be outdoors. It's a very beautiful venue. My one of my good friends actually got married there. It's outdoors, very woodsy. We're going to do a fall wedding. I'm very excited. It is going to be kind of like a DIY wedding. We're not doing anything crazy. You know, I'm doing my own makeup. I'm doing my own hair. If it was up to me and we had a nice backyard, I would really just have a backyard wedding because I love that aesthetic, but it's going to be pretty small, only about 70, the venue is only for 75 people. I'd say maybe about 60 would be there, and most of that is Blake's family and our friends. I'm going to have like maybe 10 family members at mine, but it's okay. That's all okay. It's family is family, you know. And marriage is about all coming into one. So very excited. We are getting married fall 2027. So not this fall, but the next fall, just because I wanted to give myself some time to just prepare and for us to stay engaged for a while. I'm really not in a rush. I wanted to take my time planning. I also just want to get myself ready physically and mentally for that. But I do plan on planning more and maybe starting to wedding dress shop this summer. So that'll be very fun. I plan on recording that too and going through a lot of the wedding stuff and wedding planning going forward, because I am kind of planning this not by myself. Like obviously Blake is helping and my friends, but it's very DIY. Like I don't have a wedding planner. So yeah, I do plan on I want to start doing some vlogs on here as well. Just because I really love to watch those and I think it'll be really fun. I have a lot of things happening, which I'm about to get into. That being said, I do struggle. The other reason why I set the date farther out, is because I do struggle with the fact that my dad will not be there. It's very hard for me because I've always pictured him walking me down the aisle and, you know, us having a first dance. And he was very much just like the life of the parties. So not having him there is very hard. I went to a wedding over the summer and I tried my very hardest not to be emotional. But as soon as I seen the bride getting walked down the aisle with their father, I was very emotional. Me and Blake kind of had to step to the side, like obviously not in the middle of the ceremony or anything. I kept myself together, but after that I had to take some time for myself, and I didn't realize how much even just that environment affected me, because it is just such an emotional thing. Sorry. It's such an emotional thing as is. But when you're doing it without one of your loved ones or without multiple of your loved ones, it's even harder because you want them to be there. And I know that he'll be there in spirit. I know he will. Frankie, don't be snoring. But it is just very hard. So I'm trying to also come up with ways to figure that out, because I also have my biological father, which our relationship is better now. I think I've talked about this a little bit on here before, but I do have two dads. My dad who passed away, I was extremely close to him, like closest person in my life. But he was my stepfather. He came into my life I think I was about 2. And then my biological father, he's been around, but we kind of had a rough relationship until I got older, but now we are good. But it's just like an awkward thing because he didn't really like my stepdad, my dad, who passed. And now after, it's just something that's not really talked about. My biological dad, he's just not very emotional like that. He's got his own shit. So it's just like an awkward thing. And I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I want to go about it because I do want to honor my dad in a lot of ways, but I also want, my other dads to feel seen. I don't know. There's just a lot of factors to it for me, so it's going to be a whole thing, but I am excited. I am excited overall. I knew I was going to marry Blake one day, and I'm very excited to do that. And to go dress shopping. Very excited. I do have a vision. I have a Pinterest board. I have all that. I'm going to do a lot of thrifting. I want to thrift a lot for my wedding, so stay tuned for that because I'm hoping over time I can build up some stuff. Let's see. Oh, also going back to the holiday stuff, this Christmas was just not very good for me. I messed up a lot with Christmas gifts. Like, I ordered some stuff, it didn't come in. They sent me the wrong stuff. I tried to make Buckeyes, which, like, last Christmas, I literally made cookie boxes for everyone because I made, like, 5 different cookies, like 12 cookie boxes, and because I was just trying to distract myself from everything this time last year, which is essentially what I was doing this year, but it came out good. I made puppy chow the year before. Like, I've always done something. This year I decided to do a Buckeyes, and it did not work out, and it sent me into a mental breakdown because they all ended up sticking, and I wasted so much time, and I was just like, oh wow, this is the final straw. So it's kind of a Scrooge this year, but I do feel a massive weight off my shoulders now that the holidays are past for the most part, like the big ones. I made it through another year. Sometimes, like, grievers and people who have lost people, or just people who don't have a lot of family or friends, it's just so important to just feel proud of yourself because you made it through another year. So that's what I'm just trying to tell myself. I'm trying to give myself a lot of grace. Another big thing is me and Blake are actually buying a house. We close next week, actually. A lot has went on in this past month. It has been a hectic month. It's crazy. Also, one of my friends are pregnant. Like, a very close friend of mine is pregnant. It just, a lot has went on. But we are buying a house. Very excited. We are so blessed to be able to do this. This was a house that I kind of fell in love with, but it was out of our price range. So our realtor kind of lowballed them, and they said no at first, but now they accepted. So yeah, we are very excited. We close next week, and we're going to paint. We plan on painting and just doing some stuff before we move in. I'm actually going to start packing this weekend. I'm decorating new because I've never been able to decorate fully just because we've always rented. This house, I wasn't even allowed to put nails in the walls, so a lot of my stuff is literally just hanging by command strips. I have, like, vintage wooden, like, grandma-y shelves that I want to hang up that are just sitting in my garage because I was waiting until I had my own house. We are just very ready for this. I'm ready to have a home of our own. We pay so much in rent because the rent prices are just out of control. So it's like we might as well just have a mortgage at this point. It's a good investment. Frankie, he's sleeping. And he already smells like a Frito. But yeah, super excited. So I'm also going to have a lot of content on that of us, kind of renovating and decorating and shopping. I'm very, very excited. That being said, it's hard. The thing I'm struggling with is, number one, I do feel like people with getting engaged and getting married. I don't know if you've seen those TikToks where it's like, people, I'm not married young in this way, but I'm married young in this way. I'm getting married and buying a house young in the I crave stability way, and I didn't grow up with a lot of stability in my life, and also in a fun way. It's not having kids immediately, being a trad wife, anything like that. That is not the vibe. The vibe is we want our own place. We crave stability. I need that in my life, and we just, like I was saying earlier, the cards that we've been dealt in life has just matured us in ways that this makes sense for us. So that's really all I'll say about that. I know this isn't the reality for a lot of people. I know a lot of people, the only reason why we're truly able to do this is just because the way things played out and we saved for a very long time. I know how this world is, and housing prices are out of control, and that's why I'm just very, very thankful and grateful, because I know not everyone will be able to buy a house one day, or it's going to take them a lot longer. So I never want people to compare or me to look like I'm bragging about it, because I'm not at all. That's not what I'm trying to do. So I do struggle with that a little bit, but I also struggle because, and this is not something I felt until very recently, when I think it's because we're about to start packing. I might honestly start packing a little bit today, but my dad's not going to be able to see this house. I have a lot of memories with my dad here. This was the house where I found out my dad passed. So I have a lot of PTSD triggers in this house and outside and just certain things. But also, I just remember my dad being here. So I don't know, it's hard. It's like a very bittersweet feeling. And if it wasn't for my dad, we wouldn't even have this house that we're getting. So, it's a full circle moment, but also just, I wish he could have been here to see it. So there's that. Going into New Year's. New Year's Eve is my dad's birthday. I was sad all day. We ended up just playing some games and drinking a little, and then I pretty much just went to bed. It wasn't a very eventful New Year's Eve. But some of my goals this year and this coming year, not this coming year, but these coming months, and what I've been trying to work on is healing in some way. Obviously, I know I will never heal completely, but I do want to, which is why I also do this, so I can kind of talk about some of my feelings and try to process some of them. That's a big thing. I have been trying to eat better and work out a little bit, because before my dad passed, I think I've mentioned this before, I was weightlifting for like 2 years before, and I was in the best shape of my life. I was eating so good. I was mentally probably the best I've ever been in my life. And then after, I just kind of lost it all. I've gained some weight, which, trigger warning, I am talking about a little bit of weight and things related to weight. But one thing I give myself a lot of grace. In the past, I probably wouldn't have, but now I have to, because, I went through the hardest thing I've ever been through. So, if I gain a little bit of weight, I gain a little bit of weight. You know what I mean? I couldn't get myself up to go to the gym. I didn't care about what I was eating because I didn't care to cook. I was just essentially eating to stay alive. I was eating my feelings sometimes. I struggled with stuff like that. So over the past few weeks, and I'm really not like doing anything strict. Blake got me a walking pad for again, I apologize if you hear snoring. But Blake got me a walking pad for Christmas, Frankie, and I've been using that. I've been trying to do that. I've just been doing at-home workouts and walking pad for, right now I'm doing 4 nights a week, but I'm trying to do 5. Because I love my Pilates and yoga and stuff. So I also have like a few little at-home workout things. So that's what I've been doing instead of the gym, because over the past year, I've also developed really bad gym anxiety. Don't know why. I've dealt with a lot of things that I've never dealt with in the past. My anxiety is at an all-time high. But like I said, The Alexa Pro, it's new. We're starting it. I've been on it for about a month. I don't know if I see that much change, but maybe I do. I mean, I'm sitting down doing this. I haven't done that in a while, so, you know, maybe it is working. I don't know. I'm trying to rot less because I have been rotting so bad to the point where, like, today I've been like doing Walmart delivery orders just because I hate going there. Today I'm literally going to Walmart because if I don't get out of this house, I'm going to lose my mind. We just got hit with some really bad snow, so we've been in the house for all week. Blake didn't even work all week because he's construction, blue collar stuff, so he couldn't even work. Today he's at some thing, but yeah. I'm like, oh my God, if you don't go do something, like we've been up each other's ass so much and I can't barely take it. We've been cooped up in the house, which it's great the first few days. Love it, but it's just a lot. Like I was like, I need to do something. I'm so ready for spring. I feel like this has been the longest January of my life. It's really affecting me. I need the sun. I need this winter to end because truly it's done me in this year. So, what else? I'm looking at my iPad right now because the other day at work I had a complete like mental breakdown. I was there by myself and I was just writing a bunch of stuff. Okay. Let's see. Oh. This is just some of the thoughts I had. I was essentially talking about recently I've been having a lot of like what the hell is going on moments because I don't know what my future looks like. I can't picture it and it makes me anxious and I disassociate so much. And to the point where like kid me before my dad passed and me now feels like 3 different people. It's really hard in like my relationships, like all my relationships, because I don't know, it just makes me feel like I don't even know them, like they don't even know me. Just, I don't know, it's scary. It's gotten way worse since my dad, and I think it's just because when something like that happens, like you just get a whole new perspective on life. And I'm very I don't know as far as work-wise what I want to do. I appreciate my job now. It's a good job, but I don't love it. It's not something I'm super passionate in. I don't know. I'm trying to find myself again. And it's just hard, but I'm trying to slowly take steps in finding myself again. Also, I was supposed to, as you can tell, I haven't yapped in a while. So there's no order to this. I'm just throwing it at you. I was supposed to get some tattoo fillers today, but the girl canceled on me at midnight. So I woke up early and then realized that she canceled on me. So I'm pretty sad about that because today I was supposed to go treat myself to getting a few tattoos, just little ones, and then lunch or something. But now after this, I think I'm just going to go to Walmart, like I said, and then, I don't know, maybe thrifting or something. I just need to do something. And then tonight, I'm going to watch the new season of Bridgerton, drink some wine, do a face mask. That's my plans tonight. I did finish Stranger Things. I thought it was really good when I was watching it. Purple Rain gutted me in my heart. Looking back and like seeing a bunch of TikToks, which I try not to base everything off of that because people will find ways to be disappointed in literally everything. But I do know that they left like a lot out, and so that kind of sucks. I wish they would have given us a little bit more on certain things, but overall, I really liked it. Yeah. So over this break, essentially, I've been playing a lot of games. I've been reading a lot of books. I've essentially just kept myself busy to the point where I can't form a thought, which is how I typically deal with things, which is why talking about it is the thing to do, why I'm trying to do this. But I did start my Animal Crossing again. I think I've mentioned that. We are good. I've got the update now. I like the update. I like the hotel. Do I love all the villagers from the hotel on my island? Not really, because the Uggos, I don't want those. But also, I don't think you can even invite them because some of my dream villagers has came as tourists, and I can't invite them to stay. So that's amazing. Dizzy came on my island yesterday, and I couldn't invite him. So yeah, pretty upset about that. Today I'm going villager hunting because one of my originals are finally moving, thank God. It's not the main one I wanted to leave, but I was like, whatever, I'll take it. I just need somebody off this island. I also finished Sackboy's Big Adventure. Very, very fun. Never played it before. I remember my dad having it on his PS4, I think. I remember it being a big thing. My mom worked at Toys R Us when I was a kid too, and I remember like the Sackboy stuff. But I loved it. It was so, so, so fun. I also beat Cosmic Shake, which is the SpongeBob game. But it's so fun. I love it. I want the new one too. There's a newer one. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Neptune, maybe something. I don't know. It looks fun though. But right now I am playing Animal Crossing and Spiritfarer, which is kind of an emotional game because you're dealing with spirits and you essentially like take care of them and then you get them to peace. I don't know. It's a lot, but I really like it so far. And I also do plan on buying, maybe even this weekend, Tiny Bookshop. I've wanted to play it for a while. I thought about getting it on my Switch, but I think I'm actually going to get it on my PC. I still do plan on streaming and starting to stream, but I think I'm going to wait until we move into our new house because I want to get my setup really nice. I have like some stuff that I haven't even decorated for our current game room that I want to decorate now that I didn't even get to hang up here. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. I need to build some confidence because yeah. Also, I go to my therapist. I just don't think that therapy is what I need right now. I went to therapy for probably about a year before my dad passed, and then my dad passed as I was in therapy. And I really loved my therapist that I had at the time, and he really, really helped me during that time, but we had to kind of end abruptly because of an insurance thing. We love that, America. But it was pretty traumatizing to me because I kind of had a dependency on him. He was the first therapist I had that I felt like I really, really connected with. So I tried to get back into therapy this past like 2 months, and I just feel like I'm sick of telling my story. I'm sick of always having to like reteach somebody, and I don't know. I'm not against therapy in the future. If I think that it's for me, I will definitely try it again. I just think that I've kind of taken all I can take from therapy as of right now, and then that's just like not what I need. So I didn't necessarily ghost her. I did call and let the facility or whatever business know that I would not be doing it anymore. Books. What have I been reading? I read Quicksilver. Amazing. I want to read Brimstone. I might buy it on my Kindle because I went to try to buy it at Books A Million and they only have the hard copy and it's like $40 or some shit. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. And I've heard some mixed reviews on Brimstone, so I don't really know. I've also thought about getting the audiobook. I read Phantasma. 10 out of 10. Loved it. I've never read anything like this. So Quicksilver, the ACOTAR series. It was all about like fae and stuff like that. Phantasma is completely different because it was more about like necromancers and ghosts and demons and just like all these different, I don't want to say demonic, but like that kind of realm of things. Very dark academia. I loved it. I loved the first one. I did read the second one in Contra. Just finished it about a week ago. The first one I would say 9 out of 10. The second one, Also, I need Salem. I need him. And Kingfisher. Love him as well. Love him as well. Still, no one's competing with 3 Sand, but you know, we've got some good contenders. We got some people under him, some good ones. And Contra was probably about a 6 out of 10. I just felt like it kind of started to get a little cringe. It's about like the sister. And I did hear that there's supposed to be a 3rd one, but I probably won't read it. I might, but I don't really see it because I just feel like the 2nd one got to a point where I was sitting there like, all right, now. Okay. Just getting a little like, really, that kind of thing. But I still finished it. It was okay. I probably wouldn't recommend that one. But the Phantasma, very good. And you don't even have to read the 2nd one. You can just read the 1st one. Right now, I'm listening to 4th Wing. I know I'm late. I know I'm late to all of it. But I am listening to 4th Wing, to the audiobooks. I feel like I just needed a little change because I have 2 physical books I want to read. I can't remember what they're called right now, but they are fantasy of some sort. Maybe it's called Den of Vipers or something. I don't know. It's a single one. Like, it's like a single standalone book because I feel like right now I need a standalone. Obviously, 4th Wing isn't, but I'm listening to that, so I'll probably fly through it. I'm loving it so far. Very much loving it. Everyone's like, you're going to love it. I'm loving it. I've been listening to it while I work out at night. What else? I already talked about Stranger Things. Oh, yeah, I did bawl my eyes out. Oh, getting my tattoos, which didn't happen today. Do I really have anything else to talk about? Frankie just snoring. Oh, this is a big thing I wanted to talk about. So earlier I said one of my friends is pregnant, one of my very close friends. It was a surprise. I'm very happy for her. But it did just have me thinking, like, all of my friends are living such different lives. And in your 20s, you have that. Like, some people are married, having kids. Some people are still in school. One of my best friends is literally in what is it called? Master's. She's getting her master's, and like, I don't even know when she'll be done with school. I'm engaged and buying a house. My other friends are having kids. Some of my friends already have kids. It's just so different, and it's kind of a weird feeling. Like, I don't know. It's a confusing feeling because it feels like I'm running out of time, but I'm not. And sometimes it feels like, what am I supposed to do in my life? All these people have different stuff. The 20s are so hard. That's why I'm like, thanks, Dad. You couldn't have waited till my 30s. It's already rough enough out here. But yeah, it's a different dynamic right now. I lost one of my girls for the summer. She can't drink. No margaritas. No margaritas over the summer. But, you know, I'm very excited for her. This is where it gets dark. This is probably what I'll end on. Let me just end on a really dark note, actually. This kind of goes into what I was saying earlier about how I disassociate. This is what I wrote. Because when I do these podcasts, I kind of write down some of my thoughts to talk about. Sometimes I don't feel the exact... I still feel this way, but I'm not in the same headspace as I was when I wrote this today. This was, I think, like 2 weeks ago. But it's very hard to not feel like my grief hasn't ruined me. Oh. I look at pictures and I can't recognize myself. I don't feel myself, and I feel like I will never be myself again because so much of me was my dad. And I keep searching and searching, and I can't find myself. And I want to get better. I want to feel like, but I feel like I can't. I have all these goals to try to improve myself, and it feels like I'm just drowning. And I'm always so scared I'm going to feel like this forever. How could I not? It's just so unfair, and I have so much anger and hatred, and I feel like my grief turned me hateful and dark. it didn't soften me, and all I want is to be soft. Yeah, that's what I wrote the other day, and I still feel that way. I do feel like my grief has turned me into I don't want to say negative person, but kind of, and I hate that. I feel like I'm very like stone wall, just numb to a lot of things. I don't know. It does sometimes feel like, not sometimes, all most of the time feel like, how am I supposed to get better from here? It feels like my brain has just been completely rewired, and if I do get better or start to move on or heal from things, it's like, but then do I lose those parts of me? Do I lose those parts of my dad? Does that mean that I don't care as much? I don't know. It's just a very, very hard feeling. Frankie, you're snoring too loud. But yeah, it's really hard. I feel like I always want to be soft. I want to live a soft life, but I don't feel like a soft life was given to me. And I'm trying to make one now, but there's still a lot in my life that just isn't that. And that's very hard, and it feels like it's out of my control. And it sucks because I do want to be that kind of person. I want to be soft. I want to be just kind of everything that I'm not right now. I don't know if I'm gonna get, I don't know if I'm gonna ever get there. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to even explain, honestly. It's just like looking in the mirror and I'm like, who even is that? I don't recognize myself. How my brain works now, I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know how to function with that, which is why it's been so hard. And it's been over a year. It's been like a year and it's been a year and four. It's gonna be a year and 4 months in February, and I'm just now kind of like trying to figure out what works for me. And even then, I still don't truly know. I truly just wake up every day and try to take on the day as is. I don't know. Sometimes I do feel like my grief has ruined me as a person, and I hate that feeling. And I know that that's not true, but I just miss who I was so bad before this happened, and I don't know if she'll ever be me again. I think that that's just someone who I'm not, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, you change, things change you, but it is just like another form of grief, is missing who I was before, while also not knowing what the hell is going on with my current life or what I'm supposed to do in the future or just anything like that. So yeah, it's really hard. But if you feel like that, I'm right there with you. We'll figure it out. I've just learned that you have to take it day by day. I try to show myself a lot of grace with it, even though sometimes I probably don't need to show as much grace to myself. And I just try to get on through the day however I can. Some days I wake up and there's really bad days, and sometimes I wake up and I just try not to think about it. I ignore it, or sometimes I can talk about my dad and the situation and I can laugh and smile, and sometimes I think about it and I'm just depressed for the entire day. I just have to spend that day being sad, and it's okay to do that sometimes. There's no instruction manual, and I know it sounds kind of corny, but like there's no way, there's no steps to healing and grieving. And that's really hard because I wish so bad that I could just like have this quick fix or do this thing and I'll be good, and that's just not the reality. And I don't know. It's rough. It's rough out here, but you know what? We have a lot of we have a lot of good change coming, and I have time to try to figure it out. I'm still trying to find myself. That's a pretty vulnerable thing that I wrote, but it goes back to what I was talking about earlier, is just I really am trying to find myself again. And maybe there is no finding myself. Maybe it's just recreating myself. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, I think that'll probably be it for this episode. There's a lot of exciting things, but I'm sorry. There was also a lot of sad stuff. But that's the reality. But yeah, like I said, I do plan on doing some vlogging on this channel coming up, and some gaming soon, and taking you guys on a journey of the new house and wedding planning. It's going to be very exciting. One more time for Frankie. He's asleep. He's a chonker. Here he is. Oh, he's so cute. I'll have to show you guys Tina next time. She's a menace a little bit. She kind of drives me nuts. But yeah, anyways, I hope that the next time I post it won't be a month. I'm really going to try to hold myself to the weekly thing. All right. See ya.